I'm here today with
Pauline.
Emmanuel.
Manuel. Okay, thank you guys for joining us. So, what happened during the election, if you guys are aware, there was a photograph that was released of our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. That photograph is not so the best, and we're trying to get people's reaction. Is it, whatever, or is it like, a big deal, or is it business as usual, So, we're just trying to get people's reactions, see what they think. And this is the image that we have of our Prime Minister. So, we're just trying to see what do you guys think of that? What do you guys make of that? Is it just whatever, or is it like, okay, this is like not acceptable?
Was it not published like super long ago? I remember that debate from like a while back, actually.
It was. This was a new one that was released in color. The previous ones were in black and white, so this is a new one.
Ah, great! Awesome.
More colorful with the energy and everything,
I mean, do you want to?
I mean, it's definitely not okay, at least for today. I don't know when the photograph was taken.
2001.
2001.
Ter-
I mean,
terrible.
What do you think? 2001.
it's not good for anybody to do that kind of stuff. It's just
like ever. That's like I don't know, and it's like I don't even know what he's picturing exactly. Like, is it a character or is he picturing like a racial group?
So apparently, the party was an Arabian themed night event. So
Just a random Arabian guy.
essentially, yeah, a random Arabian guy.
nice.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
And you can see that there's gentlemen in the back that are kind of like more normal.
Yeah.
more normally
they're like
dressed.
are they waiters?
I don't know. They just like look like guys that are just having a conversation. having a drink.
Interesting.
Yeah, he looks to be way too much into it.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like I have no sympathy at all for this kind of behavior. I think it's like kind of appalling, especially when you're trying to have like a kind of a progressive government, and when you're trying to preach multiculturalism as well, and respect for other cultures, and like all the cultures living together side by side. It's like that's
Not the best image.
no, not at all. So yeah, that's wow. Do you want to add anything?
I mean, it's just like I wouldn't advise anybody to do that something like that, and it's just weird, and it's just even weirder for someone that want to go in politics and be in politics and be the prime minister.
Yeah.
And it's just not acceptable.
At least with social media, now we can have access to that, and it's like it's out in the open. So I guess there's some benefits to having that, like you're held accountable for your actions. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's some positives from social media. You hold people accountable for this type of stuff. But to me, it shows somebody that like really always wants attention. You always want to be the center of the party. There's some people that are like
Be colorful.
you're very exactly. It's very colorful. Okay, so a second question for you guys. If you guys were the prime minister, you had $1 billion to spend on whatever program that you wanted. How would you spend it? I'm just curious. How would you guys do it? We're out here criticizing the prime minister. It's not an easy job. Let's give him benefit of the doubt. It's tough. It's tough being the PM. Sorry, you have a what?
Imagine you didn't put that many money on buying Keystone for nothing, and maybe investing all that money in actually improving what we do for the environment and being part of the solution right now, and not just being sorry and pushing the problem to the next prime minister in line.
Yeah. And money for indigenous communities on top of that, like having like there are a lot of voices right now in indigenous communities saying that they want more than just a day for truth and reconciliation. They want actual reparations. So I think it's important that we get like that. I'm talking as if I was the prime minister. Like if I had money, that would be 100% something that I think Canada should do, because they would be. I mean, they've treated indigenous people so poorly. I think as poor, even poorer than in the States, and it's still like. It's like, oh yeah, they have this piece of land and it's like part of their small heritage, and they have nothing and they live with nothing. It's I'm sad that like Canada is preaching openness and progressive values so much, and that it is treating these indigenous people so poorly actually.
It's a bit hypocritical, right? We're kind of saying one thing, but then we're doing something the opposite, right? It's not the best image, but that's kind of how politics is, unfortunately. Sometimes. Okay, so last question ended on a little bit of a dark note. So, looking at the global situation, we just saw Afghanistan. It came to an end. What is going to be the next global war that Canada, U.S., the West is a part of? What is going to be the biggest thing? How, is it going to be happening in China? Is it going to be Russia? Something happening in the Middle East? What's in the South Pacific Sea of Asia? What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on that?
Ooh.
I think for Afghanistan, we were dragged into helping our neighbor and just try to, I don't know, like secure the area. Now, I don't think Canada will be involved directly in any war except to help our allies. So it's going to be probably about resources, lack of water, and population movement because of the everything about climate change and lack of resources.
I can see, because of course, if you look at a recent history, Russia has been super expansionist in Eastern Europe with Crimea, Ukraine, etc. So I could see something there potentially happening because Russia has always had kind of a grasp over these territories, which are Russophone as well. So that would be maybe something that I could see, like them basically moving in tanks and the European Union being like, please guys, stop. We are definitely opposed to the situation. And then at some point it's
Here's
like...
a resolution.
Yeah, exactly. Like
We condemn these actions.
absolutely, the international community condemns these actions. And I mean, I think maybe that could be there because Russia is kind of scary with that. Like we know that they want to basically get these countries, they get these areas, but because they're like, oh, they're of Russian culture, language, heritage, they're ours. well,
Could you see something happening in the next couple of years since Biden is in office and he's kind of looking weak? And do you think there's going to be a push or nah, we're good for the next little while?
I'm not sure because I think, again, there's something, I think, with war and with the way it has evolved over the past decades that it's not like we have war country against country. It's not like you get a declaration of war between the Prince of Holland or whatever. But you do get sub-state organization fighting against each other. So it's it's not like Daesh is a country. Well, they would like us to think about them that way, but it's not really a country. So I think it could be state structures that are actually attacking. I could see maybe terrorism.
Proxy wars.
Proxy wars, exactly. Not state, the government of whatever is declaring war on this other government. War doesn't work that way, I think, either.
So resources, water, movement, climate change, and Russia. East and Russia. And Russia. Okay, no issues from China. Okay, oh yeah, you guys are right there, right? You guys are pretty dependent on the oil, the gas. Yeah, they're kind of sucking you guys in. Okay, well, thank you guys for your time. Really.